Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your daily shot of sharp business intel, global trends, and market movers. It's Tuesday, July 8th. I'm Nelson John. Today, we're tracking a massive Bharat Bandh with 25 crore workers walking off the job, while SEBI drops a bombshell on retail traders. 91% of them lost money in FY25's derivatives game. Meanwhile, China fumes over a birthday greeting. Trump wields tariffs like weapons, and Netanyahu's dinner diplomacy turns into a Nobel pitch. From Delhi to DC, from Wall Street to Dharamshala, we've got all the headlines that matters. This is Top of the Morning. Let's dive in. India is bracing for one of its biggest ever worker uprisings. On Wednesday, over 25 crore workers across sectors, banking, insurance, coal, postal and transport are expected to walk off the job in a nationwide strike dubbed Bharat Bandh. The strike is spearheaded by a joint platform of 10 central trade unions protesting what they call the Modi government's anti-worker, anti-farmer and pro-corporate policies. This is the result of months of groundwork across formal and informal sectors, said Amarjit Kaur of AITUC. Farmers and rural workers will join in too, she added. At the center of the storm is a 17-point charter of demand submitted last year, but according to the unions, completely ignored. The flashpoint? The government's new labor codes. Laws that unions allege will strip workers of bargaining power, increase working hours, and decriminalize labor law violations by employers. Harbhajan Singh Sindhu of Hind Mazdoor Sabha warns of massive disruptions across public services. Farmers' outfits, including the Samyukta Kisan Morcha, have joined hands, planning mobilizations in rural India. With the government silent and the Labour Conference left in cold storage for a decade, this strike may not just be about wages. It's shaping up as a battle for the soul of India's workforce. It's a sobering reality check for India's retail traders. 91% of individual investors lost money in the equity derivatives market in FY25, according to a new SEBI study released on Monday. Losses widened dramatically, 1.05 lakh crore rupees, up 41% from 74,812 crore rupees the previous year. The trend is eerily similar to FY24, signaling that most retail traders continue to bleed in the high-risk F&O segment. And they're voting with their feet. The numbers of unique individual traders in futures and options fell 20% year-on-year, even though it's still higher than 2 years ago. The study comes on the heels of SEBI's recent reforms to tighten risk oversight and curb manipulation in the fast-growing derivative space. From October 2024 to May 2025, SEBI observed a dip in index options turnover, down 9% in premium terms and 29% in notional terms. Yet, compared to 2 years ago, volumes remain significantly higher. SEBI said it will continue to monitor index options trends to ensure investor protection and market stability. The bottom line here, the house still wins, and if you're a retail trader in F&O, odds are you're not just playing the market, you're paying it. China is fuming again. This time over Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthday greetings to Dalai Lama, who turned 90 on July 6th. Calling the Tibetan spiritual leader a political exile and a separatist, China formally protested Modi's message and the presence of union ministers at the celebrations in Dharamshala. India must honor its commitments on Xizang, said Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning, using China's official term for Tibet. Modi has hailed Dalai Lama as a symbol of compassion, love and moral discipline. But Beijing sees him as a threat to its sovereignty. Making matters thornier, Chinese Ambassador Zhu Fihong weighed in on the reincarnation debate, insisting the 700-year-old tradition is Chinese domain, not Dalai Lama's. Well, India, for its part, distanced itself from that debate, saying it respects religious freedom but won't comment on faith-based practices. Dalai Lama, however, had the last word. On July 2nd, he declared that the institution of Dalai Lama will continue after his death and that his successor will not be chosen from inside China. Once again, the spiritual has collided with the political on one of the world's most sensitive borders. In a sweeping trade move, President Donald Trump has slapped fresh tariffs up to 40% on imports from over a dozen countries, including key Asian players like Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, and South Korea, reports Mint's Dhirendra Kumar. But one major economy is notably missing: India. Effective August 1st, the new duties are part of Trump's reciprocal tariff policy aimed at countering what he calls unfair trade barriers. In his words, quote-unquote, large and persistent U.S. trade deficits pose an extraordinary threat to our national security and economy. Laos and Myanmar took the biggest hit at 40%, while Cambodia's duties dropped slightly, and Malaysia, Japan and South Korea now face 25%. India, meanwhile, remains untouched thanks to ongoing negotiations over a yet-to-be-signed bilateral trade agreement that's been gathering dust on the president's desk. Trade watchers say that this gives India a tactical pricing edge in exports like textiles, toys and electronics. Indian products are likely to gain a pricing edge, said Ajay Sahay of FIEO. The clock's ticking. A July 9th deadline looms for Trump's tariff pause, but there's talk of an extension to August 1st, keeping India's fate in limbo. For now, New Delhi stays out of the tariff crosshair, but not out of the woods. It was a night of handshakes and high praises at the White House. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu formally nominated President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, just 2 weeks after the U.S. dropped bunker buster bombs on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. This is a historic victory, Netanyahu declared, crediting their partnership with delivering a strategic blow to Iran. Trump echoed the sentiment, claiming Iranian operations had been obliterated, and revealed that Tehran had since reached out to the White House for talks. Comparing the strikes to World War II, Trump said it reminded people of a certain other event, referencing the U.S. bombing of Japan, and added, "I hope we're not going to have to do it again." On Gaza, Trump insisted Hamas now wants a ceasefire. Netanyahu, meanwhile, praised Trump's idea of relocating Palestinians and firmly ruled out any peace with factions wanting Israel's destruction. Trump avoided endorsing a two-state solution, passing the mic to Netanyahu. There's a shift in Syria too. With Bashar al-Assad gone, Netanyahu sees new opportunities for peace, claiming Iran and Hezbollah have been sidelined. Peace price talk, bombs on Iran, and a shifting Middle East order. Trump's foreign policy is making waves. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in. We are eagerly looking forward to our next Top of the Morning episode, which will be packed with the latest news. Until then, this is Nelson John signing off. Have a great day.